So this past week, the big news of the day in AI this morning, by the way, I set up and I'm sure we're going to get into discussion about this. I set up my OpenClaw, which was Moltbot, which was Claudebot. I set up on my Telegram. I set it up on a virtual private server and I run it on my Telegram. So it's, I think, pretty safe that way, rather than putting it on your local machine, which I'm not completely opposed to that, by the way. There are people that are. And everyone who's afraid of that, by the way, you're going to kind of have to get over yourself. Um, the idea that I'm going to protect myself from the AI is going to be almost a sure way to go broke. If I can do so much with this bot through Telegram, it's remarkable. Um, I told it yesterday, since we're talking about YouTube, I told it yesterday to go to this one YouTube channel and pull down every one of I want a high resolution image of every one of their YouTube thumbnails. And it said, okay, got it. And 15 minutes later, it brought me back 90 high resolution thumbnails, like in 15 minutes. And while I was doing something else, it's amazing what it can do. That would have taken me 2 or 3 hours to do because I had to build a collection of thumbnails for a piece of software. So it's really interesting. I think if I had it on my computer, I already see what I could do if it were on my computer. It's a little risky, so I'm going to see I'm going to wait until Russell tells me I can do it before I blow the whole world up. But hey, listen. So here's the thing: the big news this morning. So it sends me tech news every single morning. So I've got it set up to send me an alert of the biggest tech stories, and it writes them in the way I would say them, which is really cool because I can almost cut and paste them and use them for content. But the big news in Wall Street this morning was, or I guess Friday and this morning, was Microsoft dropping by 10% in a day. 10% in a day. For Microsoft, one of the most rock solid stocks ever in the history of stocks, it's an enormous drop. It lost $381 billion in valuation in one day. 381 billion gone in a day. In the same day, another company announced almost exactly the same news. So the other company was Meta. They announced almost exactly the same news for exactly the same dollar amount. Their stock went up 8% in one day. So what was the news? It was the amount of money that each one of them had spent on AI in the last quarter. And they both spent about $100 billion each in AI last quarter. So when that was announced, Microsoft went down $380 billion and Meta went up probably an equivalent amount. I don't know the exact dollar amount, but it went up 8%. So why would one company go down 10%, announcing $100 billion spend, and another go up? Anybody got any ideas? I'd love to hear what you guys think. You can put it in the chat, or why do you think that would be? Why do you think that would be? Microsoft AI sucks. Where they invested? Implementation. Sort of, Heather, but not completely. Track record, your infrastructure. Yeah. All right. So nobody really, yes, there you go, Tony. Meta has a plan. So here's the thing. Meta was able to show a return on the investment of the AI they've already bought, and then said, because of this, we made a bigger investment. Microsoft said, we made this investment because we think in the future, blank, 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 right? So the thing is Wall Street didn't buy it. I mean, Wall Street's not buying the future. And for you guys that are going out, this is the big lesson. For you guys that are going out right now, there's two lessons. One, stop fucking around. Stop playing with AI. Stop playing with it. This is a money making tool. A lot of you guys are still playing. I love Angie Norris more than anything in the world. She's the greatest girl in the world. But she comes on here and does a stuffed animal thing that you can do with AI, and you guys all freak out and make 9,000 pictures of stuffed animals. And that's awesome because it's a great party trick. It really is. But most of you have been taught 10 ways to make money with AI at least, and you're still not doing it. And I don't understand it. I really don't get it. But the money that you're spending, you should be fired. You really should be fired. If you were your boss, you would fire you because you're not taking the technology that you have and putting it to work to make money to get a return. This is a business, it's not a game. The idea here is to get a return on your investment. You guys are investing money in these tools, you're investing money in training. The idea is to get a return on your investment. And when you can do that, you win. Same thing's going on with you guys that are going out and selling AI services to other people. You're trying to sell AI services to other people. And this is the second lesson, and it's a big one if you're in the AI services business. You're selling the tool, you're selling the technology, you're selling the coolness. They don't care anything about that. Businesses care about the result. They care about getting the result. That this is AI is about one thing and nobody wants to say it. AI is about one thing. It's about labor replacement. It really is. You're the largest market in the world, $110 trillion market's labor. And labor's being replaced with AI very slowly right now. But what's going to happen, I can tell you now, you can expect more layoffs, big ones, at Microsoft. I expect Microsoft to announce giant layoffs in the next few days if they haven't already. Amazon just announced a huge round of layoffs. Um, a bunch of others are announcing layoffs, but there's a lot of people. Stockholders are not going to sit around while companies go spend billions of dollars on AI and don't implement it. So you're going to see now a big fire lit under the butts of these CEOs to show that the investment they've made in AI was a good one. Look at all these people we don't have to have anymore. So you can watch and see. I promise you, there's going to be giant layoffs at these companies. But when you're out selling this, when you're out selling AI to other people, if you're selling implementation, they care about a couple of things. That voice AI agents answering the phone in the middle of the night. We're about to be teaching that, right? Chatbot agents being live on websites 24/7. People expect Amazon. It doesn't matter what business you're in. People expect Amazon nowadays. They really do. They expect the Amazon uh, turn times. They expect to be able to get an email answered at 3 o'clock in the morning. They expect to be able to talk to a voice AI agent if they're in a different country at 1 o'clock in the morning. They don't care. They expect that. And people right now believe, and I believed until recently, that we had a labor shortage. We do not have a labor shortage. We have a work surplus. Things have become more and more complicated. And while we have robotics to help us, most functions of business have become considerably more difficult. And they've required a lot more people to get done. So we've created a lot of new jobs with technology, and everything's moving so fast it requires more and more bodies. So now we're replacing those bodies with robotics. It's going to be messy for a while. But when you can go to businesses, especially small businesses that are trying to compete with large corporations, and show them how they can reduce headcount, and you just can't be afraid of talking about it. Nobody wants to talk about that. Oh, you mean I got to fire people? Well, there's somebody you want to fire, right? Every business has people they want to fire. I can't believe Russell's still here. I can't really. After all this time, I love you, Russell. I'm just kidding. But almost every business has somebody that needs to be laid off. We went from 85 employees to 5. I'm moving back up now. I don't know, we might have 7 or 8, but we're very stingy to hire. But we had 85 employees at one time, doing the work that we do right now on less revenue, with a great big building and rent and all sorts of things. This is where it's at, guys. This is the business that we're in. If you're not going to execute on something that makes you money, then stop buying AI tools. Stop coming to these calls. Stop screwing around. The entertainment is not that great, but have some fun. Have some fun with it. This is fun stuff. It's a great time to be alive, man. We're about to enter into just one of the greatest times of prosperity, I think, ever in history, because labor is going to go functionally to nothing. So things are going to cost less. We're not going to have to do things that we don't want to do anymore. And we're going to get to have way more time to have fun and do the things that we love. And that's the goal we're all working for. Don't forget that. So, with that said, Angie and Russell have been working on dissecting some YouTube AI generated videos from Julie McCoy and some others. And so have I, working on our YouTube strategy for 2026. I guess this is, yeah. So Russ and did Angie have to go to the bus stop?
Nope, I got him a ride this morning, so I'm good.
Okay, cool. So guys, you go ahead and talk about what you've been doing.
Yeah, I wanted to just talk about something that I've been doing as far as thumbnails because we know, like, you talk about how the thumbnail is what gets people to open. And so I was just going to share what I've been doing to make sure that I have an array of thumbnails, and I use my Foul AI to create unlimited thumbnails right here inside of this tool, and I have hundreds, and they cost pennies, and it looks just like me, and I love it, and I can make it, pointing. So I'll go out and I will find a YouTube cover, and like this girl right here, she has her finger right, and so what did I do? I went and I just put a simple prompt in. I wanted an orange shirt because I'm trying to get variety in my color of stuff, and then I can make the same exact thumbnails. So I'm going out there and trying to dissect all of these amazing thumbnails and then mimic them and use AI. I mean, I created this in like 2 seconds because now I can just go, okay, I want this, and now I can create that same pose and then pull it into some kind of an editor, and boom, I have my thumbnail now. So that's what I've been doing as far as all the thumbnails, which I think is going to be really powerful. And I'm learning, what makes a thumbnail like pop, what makes a thumbnail make people open it. Perry,
Does it
what do
does
you
it
think?
pull it does it pull in that does it pull in the video by link and then make you one similar? Is that the way it does it?
It can do that too. So there
Because we're
are.
using a new one called Pexels that does that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so I showed Higgsfield and how you can take any TikTok dance and mimic the TikTok dance. And so like it's really cool. I mean, any tool will do it, but I feel like we have this opportunity with short form video to just dominate with all these AI tools and to get on it, right? I just scraped my whole YouTube channel back to zero. Like I scraped everything so that I can retrain the algorithm to know what I want to be known for, right? Which is the AI stuff. And so yeah, it's kind of a cool time to be alive, I think, with
It
this
really is.
thing.
It really, really
So.
is. Russ, what you got?
Yeah, I love that she just said, I find out what's popular, what's working, and I recreate it, and I do it in a variety. And or this always comes back to myself, where I was like, all right, so she said, go check out Julia McCoy. She's killing it over there with AI stuff. And the first thing I looked at, I was like, okay, the thumbnails look pretty awesome, like kind of hot, like she's got like a Star Trek thing. I've never watched it before. I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm gonna click it, and it's going to be like, just making nerds fall over themselves like watching it, and it
Yeah.
wasn't. It was just more of like her persona, and she talks in normal voice. I'm like, whoa, okay, like where's the popularity? I got to figure it out. And a lot of videos were super trending, but I thought just off the get-go, a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot when they don't have good thumbnails. Her thumbnails are excellent and clickable. And then of course
Extraordinary.
I think about this, I'm like, let me look at the AI morning clubs one. Is it something, can you go back and replace a thumbnail on like a live
Yes.
YouTube? You can,
Yeah.
and then you can go
They're
back and
doing
replace
all of
the
ours.
title. That would
Yeah,
be helpful, yeah.
they're doing all of ours right now. For all my old posts, they're starting to replace my thumbnails. It's going really slow. It's not
Good.
not a quick process, but I'll show you a couple.
I'd
You
love
know,
to see it because that's where I'm like, man, when we practice what we preach, if somebody comes back there and like, hey, your AI Morning Club thumbnail that was on YouTube doesn't look inviting at all. I'm like, I don't know if we're able to go back and change that, and
yeah.
that's definitely something. But they have an expiration, right? I think Trisha said 30 days, and then those drop off. Is that correct?
That's for Facebook, but for YouTube, it
Oh,
lives for
for
a long
YouTube, it's
time.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we gotta don't don't like follow us yet because we're just implementing this type of thing. Yeah, and
I'm gonna screen share just for a second. I'll show you a couple things I was working on over the. So this is Ginger. This is my Telegram bot. So every morning she sends me. This is my news. This is my AI news that came this morning. My daily trend briefing. So I have all this stuff to talk about in AI today if I want to, which is kind of cool. And you can see here, you can see here, this is a thumbnail that I did a couple of days ago. And this is a technique that I learned from somebody that you guys can do this with ChatGPT or with Nano Banana. Can you guys see this on my screen?
Yes, we see it.
So this was one, I'm not going to use this. This is too close to Julia's, but I grabbed one of Julia's and I did this exercise that